Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. Apologies for the delay. I mean, it's never going to go smoothly on these duo streams. That's just the way it goes. That's the pattern now. That's what we're used to. But we are finally live. We are finally here. FPL launches tomorrow. And me and Jake are very, very excited. Other than excited, mate, what other kind of superlatives would you use to describe how you're feeling right now?
Nervous. Maybe more so for the critiques that I'm going to receive on my fantasy team, as my head, as I always, starts to fall off as fantasy comes around the corner. Um, and yeah, I think excited really does round it off completely. I think it's just good to the season starting. It's football galore every week, and man, how we've missed him or her or it, whatever.
Whatever. We don't assume genders on this channel, so that
No,
that
no, we
was
don't.
very very wise of you there, mate. You went for them all. But football has no gender. Remember. But yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to be back. Obviously, proper football's been going for like 2 weeks now,
hmm
and Mansfield haven't won a league game yet. But that's fine. We beat Chesterfield, so all is right with the world, and we've got Everton away next. So happy days, isn't it? Happy days, really.
Yeah, light at the end of the dark, if that's a saying.
I don't think it quite is, to be honest, mate. Not quite.
Um,
Right, in today's stream, we're pretty much just going to run through our team selections ahead of tomorrow's deadline. Of course, there'll be two streams out tomorrow as well. I'll do like a deadline preview stream in the morning. Then, of course, you'll get the big shebang from about probably around 1 o'clock tomorrow up until around 4:30. And then obviously we let the big boys go and do their thing from 4:30 onwards. We'll try and answer as many questions as we can throughout today's stream as well. I know a lot of people are going to be piling those questions in, so do get them in. We'll try to answer as many as we possibly can, like I said. And yeah, we're like 8 people away from 16k. So if you are new around here, and I don't know, if we hit 16k on the stream, Jay, what should we do to celebrate?
um,
Keep it reasonable.
hmm.
Like don't be like, oh, shave your head.
What are we on at the moment?
We're all right. Let me get the count up. Let me get the count up. We are on. Oh, six. Sorry, we're on 15,994. So we need six
Blimey.
people. 6 people. Yeah, that's it.
I think you got to pull up the Bone Rain dance if you get 16, to be honest.
But I think it's got to be a joint. I feel like it has to be a joint. I feel you've got to join me on the bow and rain dance here.
All right, sound. It's a deal.
All right, there we go. So, if you are new around here and want to see two blokes in their 20s dance absolutely terribly, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button because if we hit 16k, it's going to happen tonight. If you are already an existing subscriber as well, smash the like button out for us as well. That'll push it out to more people, exactly what we want to see. If you want to get your team rated for free by Fantasy Football Hub's AI tool as well, that is the pinned comment within the chat. Let me know if you do put it in there, what you score, because we're going to be going through the scores that mine and Jake's drafts got. But that's all the waffle. That's all the intro rubbish out the way. Let's dive into the meat and gravy here. Let's start off with your team first, Jake. It's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. It is a no Mohamed Salah draft. Talk me through it. Talk me through some of the interesting picks you've gone for. And the big question I've got for you is captaincy every week with no Salah or no Haaland. Where do you sit on that? But yeah, take it away, mate.
Um, I think I don't think this is where I end up come 8 o'clock. Well, come 6:30 tomorrow. I do believe that there will be plenty of changes, and I will probably end up being a little bit more safe with my picks. But I was just toying around with it, and kept every time I came to conclusions with my team, I felt like I had preempted my team too much based on game week 1. So then I was like, well, actually, is it worth? We flirted with the idea a few weeks ago. Is it worth me just going like gung ho into it and bench boosting straight into game week 1?
Mm-hmm.
Because my team did seem to like be leaning towards that, and so then I just started playing around with it a little bit more in a way that I felt like I could actually utilize that bench boost as best as possible. Because, like you've said a few weeks ago, you can kind of bank on people. You can kind of have a good idea as to who's going to start the season without there being too many cups or like European competitions to really worry about. You kind of have the idea, I imagine, from pre-season. Um, Hence why I have gone quite attacking heavy, and I've got the likes of Ekatike,
Hmm.
Gokeres. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to get hounds of abuse here for this, but I've managed to get Bruno in. That was someone I was quite keen on. Palmer was an obvious swap for Salah, and the only reason I took Salah out was because then I could have that extra attacker up front. With me having Wirtz and Gakpo. It's an interesting one, really, because there's nothing I can really say to argue it because Salah is quite clearly the most sought after player on this app, and rightly so after season overperforming expectations to you could argue. But I do feel like from watching him week in, week out, he's becoming a lot more of a provider. And now, granted, he did win the Golden Boot last season, so I'm bound to get egg on my face, and so be it. But I do feel like with the sheer attack force that Liverpool have reinvested in, there are so many other options, and I do feel like Salah will not be quite so relied upon to score the goals. Now, that doesn't mean that he won't be an attacking outlet and get plenty of attacking returns, and I will regret my decision. But I was just thinking for game week one, if I'm going to bench boost, I think that's what I go with because I like the prospect of Vert. I think Gakpo just is someone that can be slept on a little bit sometimes, where he does just come up with the goals when you need him, and you bank on Salah, and there's Gakpo with a brace or whatnot. And then Ekatike, yeah, he had a good game in his first competitive start. He's going to start the season, there's no doubt about that. And yeah, it just allowed for me to have three Liverpool players, but also then invest in the likes of Palmer, Bruno, Gokeres. So you're arguably getting three quality players that are going to start the season as opposed to one that is guaranteed, let's be serious, to be pushing double figures. So I do get it. It is a very bold move, and I wouldn't be surprised if come 6:30 tomorrow, I've completely gone back on my word. But I'm just thinking, if I am going to bench boost, I think I actually could do it without Salah.
Okay, okay. I think bench boost game week one took a big hit when we kind of found out the Bravka wasn't quite ready. Now, if he comes out in tomorrow's press conference, Scott Parker, and says, "Yep, he's good to go," great, time to go for it. But I
Yeah.
think, yeah, probably not. Looks like Kelleher might miss the first game as well. Keith Andrews wasn't like completely like, yeah, he's back in his press conference. He was like, yeah, we'll kind of wait and see. So I think right now you might not have a playing goalkeeper. So that's maybe something to look at. And I also don't know if is it pronounced Hatto is gonna even.
Yeah, I imagine so,
I
yeah.
don't even think he's gonna start. Lad.
Yeah, it's a toss-up, isn't it, with the amount of players they've got. The only reason I was a bit more intrigued by that signing is that Colwell's out.
Mm,
But then, of course, they have got the assets to maybe not rush him into the team.
yeah.
So, yeah, I can understand that.
Maybe
Um,
you could just go for Sanchez in goal. I think you had a spare zero point 0.5 kicking around with this team.
yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't know. I was also speaking to your flatmate, Sean,
Oh yeah,
um, the other night, and United at home to Arsenal is quite an interesting game, really, because I don't think Arsenal have really like set the world alight since the season ended. And United, of course, it is infectious how delusional the fans can be when they sign
yeah.
£200 worth of £200, £200 million worth of players, and so they should because that is a good investment from United.
Hmm.
So I don't know; it's tough to call, um, and I think the fans will be right behind them. And I also wanted to point out that we were talking about players that have scored on their debuts against Arsenal, and you got the likes of Rashford, you got Anthony, the goat,
Yeah.
and even Wayne Rooney, who I thought had only done that for Everton, but he'd actually scored his competitive Premier League first goal for United was against Arsenal. So I was like, am I being a bit cowardly here by going for Gokeres if I'm going to bench boost? Maybe Shesko's the man.
Maybe he could be the man, lads.
Mm,
Um, the problem for me with this team is I think there's probably just too many like risks.
yeah.
Like Johnson came off the bench yesterday, didn't start. It was Kudus who started, so I don't know about him. Obviously Gakpo probably will start the season. Probably the same with Etitike, but how many weeks do you get out of them?
Yeah, there's a threat of those two being the rotation if he sack signs, isn't there?
Yeah, and like maybe like Gokeres, like I know he's got a great record in the Portuguese league, but does he just flop? You know what I
Who
mean?
knows? Who knows? The hype will be there for him, but
I
I
I
guess a debut at United may not be the ideal debut. Who knows?
yeah, and I also think without Salah, you have to have pretty much your captain lined up every week. So who would be the captain for game week one? Because the AI here has picked Palmer to be your
Yeah.
captain, but who would you go for?
I think I would go for Palmer. I think it'd be between him and Bruno.
Okay.
Um, I mean, to be honest, Tom, I did this earlier because I was just playing around with it and realized I had way too much quality on the bench, as if they were going to all play this week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not really preempting the following game week. So then I just started playing around with a potential bench boost. But yeah, I do feel like as much as I've risen an argument for no Salah,
hmm
I think it is going to be in vain.
Yeah. I personally think like start with Salah because I think three out of the opening five, he's the best captain
Yeah,
on paper. If he looks terrible after 5 game weeks, so you've got the Burnley, you've got the Everton, you've got the Bournemouth out of the way, then you can go right. Okay, let's get rid of him. Let's either move to Haaland, or maybe at that point Isak's joined, so then Isak and Wirtz can cover him off. But I think the safe play start with him at the start of the season because he is just one of those players that is a monster. Always does well in game week one as well. His record in game week one's terrific. And you just think, okay, after 5 weeks, if he's not quite hitting the same levels, I can just get rid of him. And then you've got
yeah,
all that money to play around with. But I think it's a lot harder to then refine that money to go and get him if he's like, oh, actually, Salah's a joke again. We kind of got to have him. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I do get that. I do get that.
And I think it just saves you like a headache with captaincy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, because you're not going to want to rush. I mean, if Salah does well, you're going to want to panic and get him in. Whereas if he doesn't do well for the first 3 weeks, you're not going to necessarily be panicking to get him out.
No, exactly. So I think start with him, then work around it. I think you might take some inspiration from my team that has Salah in, has Wirtz in, has Bruno in, has Palmer in. So a lot of the big boys you've got there already. That it might just tickle your pickle a little bit, and it might
Yeah,
might be the team for you. But yeah, I think definitely like you said, probably a little bit off the bench as well, more into the starting 11 if you're not going to bench boost as well.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, in terms of the AI rating this one got, what number do you think they give you?
I will say 86.
86 is very. I'd say you're underrating it a little bit. It gave it 90. It gave it a
Okay,
90 because it
so a
did.
bit of a downgrade from last time.
Yeah, a little bit of a downgrade, but it does like some of the players you have selected. Like it likes Palmer, likes Wirtz, likes Bruno, loves Porro, loves Mikalenkovic. It likes Tarkowski, doesn't mind Gakpo or Etiki. I really can't pronounce his name.
Ekitike.
Ekatike, yeah. So yeah, it don't mind it. It don't mind it. Maybe a few tweaks and this could be there. Could be there.
Yeah.
I'm getting a few comments saying that I'm arrogant and that you shouldn't take my advice, Jake. So if you don't want to take my advice, mate, don't listen to me. You can go no Salah. Look, hey, I think if you're not going to go Salah, then fair enough. That's up to you.
I appreciate yous all tuning in to watch Tom to tell him that he's wrong, but continue to watch him.
Right, let's answer some questions for you guys as well. People asking about Morgan Rogers. We'll have Emery's press conference tomorrow, so that's where we'll get our full information regarding Morgan Rogers. Is he a player that you thought about, Jake?
He is, and I did have him in a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm.
I just don't know if he's match fit. Are you convinced that he'll start now?
There's been a picture of him in training, so yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see what Emery says tomorrow. Best 4.5 million defenders. Who's your favourite?
I think Konza wasn't he a 4.5?
Yep.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I'd probably say him. I don't actually have it up in front of me, but I'd probably say Konza's probably the safest bet, especially with them lacking a striker. With it being the night before the season starts and Vista not being announced, you'd have to imagine that they're going to be starting either Anthony Gordon up top or Asula.
Yeah, true. I I would probably go Anderson as mine from Fulham. Bit of a DEFCON beast. Richards as well could also be a good option at Palace. There's some pretty stiff
Yeah,
ones.
and also if you want to go one step further, then just get a Stev.
Or just get a The thing is, Esteve is not going to be a bad option at four. Especially if you need cover for game week 2 with like Porro.
Yeah.
Sunderland at home. We watched Burnley last season. They are genuinely war criminal level football.
I think. Do you remember the old wives' tale of AC Milan winning the league, but literally scoring, I don't know, 30 odd goals?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I could see Burnley staying up because they do an AC Milan
If
and literally just do not concede.
Yeah, if they're literally like, okay, we get battered by the big boys, but nullify everybody else and maybe like snatch a couple 1-0s. You never know,
Mm,
because
I could see it.
everyone comes
Could
up
see
and
it.
plays expansive football, don't they? But Burnley might just be like, sod that. We're gonna just
Well, they made the championship look a walk in the park defensively,
yeah,
and that's a tough league.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I know. Usually the league's won by the teams that like the Leeds and like the Leicester of late, like where they do just simply have the best attack and outscore the opposition. In this scenario, Burnley did have a decent attack, but my word, their defense was up there with the best in Europe, I'd argue.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Looking at the goals conceded, it was definitely up there as well. So yeah, not a bad one. Thank you very much, George, for being an FPL Tom fan pack member for 17 months. So really appreciate that, mate. Obviously, if you do want to become a channel member, click that join button. You get little shout outs. There's some videos on there just for channel members now as well, some EFL stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, go and check it out. Lots of good stuff over on that one. What other questions have we got? Just trying to see if there's any good ones coming up. Harry Wilson, obviously been banging goals in pre-season. A lot of people looking at him potentially at a 5.5. Has he crossed your mind as well?
Is he still at Fulham?
He is still at Fulham, yes.
No, he hasn't crossed my mind. To be honest with you, though, no Fulham asset has, and I don't feel like they've really been done justice because they had a fairly reasonable season, didn't they, for their standards? They were very comfortable in the league. Did they get top 10 or did they not quite get it?
I think they finished 10th or 11th,
Yeah.
maybe.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what are their fixtures at the start of the season.
They have got
Brighton is it first?
Brighton,
Yeah.
United, Chelsea is their opening three.
Mm. It's
Uh,
It's funny with Fulham because they never seem to get absolutely battered. They always seem to be there or thereabouts in the games against the teams that you'd imagine would beat them. Um, but yeah, Wilson always seemed to be a bit of an off the bench superstar. Every time we come off the bench, he'd score.
he usually
Um,
has like a good 2 weeks every season.
yeah,
And it's usually around Christmas where, like, where you've got all those games just in like quick succession.
yeah,
It'd be like, oh, Harry Wilson's got a brace. Both of them are
yeah.
25 yards outside the box, and he's
Literally,
like fizzed them in. That's the kind of player Harry Wilson is for me in the Premier League.
yeah,
Championship level, he's very, very good. But Premier League, it always seems like he has just a purple patch every season, and then you never hear of him again.
yeah. So keep an eye on him, and as soon as he scores, get him in for 1 week.
Get him in for the max 2 weeks around Christmas when he's good, and that'll be the prime time to own Harry Wilson.
Is Adama still at Fulham? Just
Yeah,
sideways.
I think he is. I think he's still at
Yeah.
Fulham. I think he's still kicking about.
I just don't really feel like they've signed anyone.
No,
Forgive me if I'm wrong,
no,
but
I genuinely can't think of a Fulham player or anybody that they've signed.
yeah, they've not really done anything. They've not really sold either, have they?
No, it looks like maybe Muniz is on his way out.
Where's he off to?
Atalanta.
Oh, right, okay.
Wait, no.
Okay, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to keep an eye on that then because Jimenez is not a 38 game season player.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where they recruit for the backup or the rotation there.
Well, DCL's gone now. Leeds have snatched him away, so that's
Have
that
they
one.
signed him now? Yeah.
Looks like it, yeah.
Wow, what a debut he's got
Oh,
at
yeah.
home to Everton.
Oh, yeah. I think Perot probably starts, to be fair.
Fair enough.
Maybe off the bench. Maybe it's written off the bench to snatch it for
To
Leeds.
nab it. I kind of hope he does, to be honest.
Yeah. A lot of people asking about Reinders as well from Manchester City at 5.5. Two at the weekend in pre-season. Has he
Yeah,
crossed your
so
mind?
is it just me, right? So everyone on FPL,
Hmm.
and I'm happy if Ryan does absolutely fantastic this season, but I agree. I'm not the FPL connoisseurs like yourself or whoever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
but it just felt like everyone was going, "Oh yeah, Anderson from Forest, he's the guy. He's got the DEFCON. He's got the all round. He might pop up with a goal. He's on set pieces. He's great." And then Reinders scores twice on a bloody pre-season game out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's the man to have. And all of Anderson's hard work from the Euros for the under-21s and for last season and from all the points and statistics have gone out the window because Reinders scored twice. Now, I just felt like that was just like it's one game, and that I get it. You've got to keep an eye on it, and I've done that before and fallen for it. But I feel like you need to. I feel like he's got to be someone you've got to keep an eye on rather than just chuck all your spendings on. If you're going for a differential, then fair enough. But it's almost becoming a non-differential the amount of people that are backing him.
Yeah, no, I get your point. Like, it does feel very knee-jerky from the weekend, doesn't it, really? Like,
Mm.
people are like, yep, Anderson, who?
Yeah,
Reinders. Like, he's the new one in the shop window.
he
Um,
does. To be fair though, it's not like you're spending 5.5 mil, isn't it? And it's a good asset to have if he's going to start, and I would imagine he will play the majority of games. He
yeah.
he gives me Gundogan vibes.
I was just literally going to say the same thing. Watching him play feels like Gundogan a few years ago. I think when he got
Yeah.
like 15 goal involvements that season.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm gonna. I think as much as I don't think I'm gonna stick with the team I've just provided to everyone,
Mm,
and I would probably say it's more than likely I will have Salah in. I am very confident I won't be having Reinders in. Now that doesn't mean that I won't fall for it if he does well against Wolves, but I think I will give it one game week and just see how City's set up.
yeah, I think that's maybe the more sensible play. Maybe he's one for like a wild card pickup or in
Possibly, yeah,
few
but with him
weeks.
being so cheap, he can be just an easy weekly transfer.
Mm,
So that's the luxury of having like Reinders being priced at that much. You just have to be on the ball
yeah,
because if he does do well, get him in straight away.
yeah. I think even though like I remember Gundogan a few seasons ago when he was that monster. Even then, I remember like thinking, nah, I'm not going for it. I'm not touching it. And it'll probably be the same with Reinders. Is like he might score a few, but in the back of my mind, I'm going, is he just gonna get dropped one week? Like
Yeah.
it's just Pep, and he is an FPL terrorist, really.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's not just going to get dropped. He'll get dropped and subbed on in the 83rd minute.
Exactly. So it'll just be like, or do I just stick with Anderson, who's just gonna play all the time?
Anderson is guaranteed 80 plus minutes, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet as well. What do you think about Dewsbury Hall as well? Obviously moved to Everton, 5 million.
Yeah, I really like that. But similar to Reinders in a different scenario is that he has not had a full season under his belt.
Hmm.
He has been very much mismatched when he's gone to Chelsea, and they've not given him the minutes that he needs to be guaranteed a guaranteed starter. I think there'll be a bit of rotation to get him up to match fitness and to get him in the motions. I think the same could be said for Grealish, who I know is about 6.5 million. I think they're both very good signings for Everton, but I just feel like there's still a bit of um they just need to still be like introduced kind of into the team and into the flow of Premier League football once again and getting
Yeah,
in that regular game time because Everton have some decent players. They've got McNeil, who seems to be back from like fully from his injury now. Ndiaye I thought he was going to Inter Milan. I mean, I believed one tweet about it.
Yeah.
But if he stays, he's a guaranteed starter because he was arguably their best player. Well, he was definitely the best attacker last season. So yeah, it's two very good signings Everton have made, but once again, I think I just keep an eye on them. I also believe, like we've said plenty of times, the start of the season, the newly promoted clubs are right up for it, and when you're at Ellen Road, I don't think anyone fancies it until you actually get that goal. So I feel like that's a tough start for Everton and for Everton assets. I do think though, there's still an argument for Tarkowski, although I know you will beg to differ.
We'll see. He might be in the team I'm going to showcase. We'll have a look in a
I
second.
thought you tweeted that you were against him now.
A little bit. I'll talk about it when we come to my
with
team.
Bramthwaite being crocked.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who's their understudy then? Who do you reckon?
Michael Keane.
Blimey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I did see him score a worldie once.
That's
live against Spurs, but I don't think I've ever been fully convinced by his defensive abilities.
Nah, he's not quite it, is he? However, mate, we have hit a milestone on stream.
Oh no!
We've hit it. We've absolutely smashed it. I just refreshed my phone. We're on 16 point 003, so three over. So if you weren't here for the start of the stream, we agreed we'll do a Bowen rain dance because we hit 16k on stream. So now, lad, you're just pinned in. You've
lad, keep the viewers watching. We'll do it at the end.
Right, we'll do it at the end. Yeah, I am absolutely sweating, by the way. So yeah, we'll do it at the end.
Well, I've actually just set up a massive 16-inch fan, so I'm ready for this.
Well, mine's right by the mic, so it will just like blow into the mic, so people just like. But yeah, we'll do a dance at the end, so that's your reward at the end. All right, there we go. Let's head into to my team then. Let's bring it up on screen for you guys to take a look at. We've got Sanchez in goal, Pedporo, Murillo, Tarkowski for now, Anderson, Salah, Palmer, Wirtz, Bruno Fernandes, Anderson, Watkins. On the bench, Dubravka, Steve, Guiwi, and Krupik Jr. So yeah, that's the team. That's where we're at. What do you think?
Who did you say after Guiwi?
Krupik Jr.
Who's that?
He basically banged in a load of goals in Ligue 2. Yeah.
Was he just signed for Bournemouth?
Yeah, he signed back in January.
Right. And did he go back on loan or something?
Yeah, he went back on loan.
What is he then? Is he like a winger or is he a forward?
He's a number 9. He's a number 9.
Oh, well.
Obviously, the only other forward they've got really is Evan Nielsen. They might have someone else as well.
Is Unal left? Or?
Unal's crocked.
Is he?
Yeah,
bless him. He has not got the look, has he?
No, he really hasn't. So yeah, he's probably the understudy to Evan Nielsen. Seen a few minutes in pre-season. People are telling me it's pronounced Gui. We're just going to call him Mark.
Mark Gui.
I'm going to call him Mark to save myself from embarrassment, to be honest. Let's talk about the changes that we might make before I talk about the players that might be locked in.
Okay.
The changes that I might make might be like Tarkowski is definitely one I've got ringed. The other one is Sanchez.
Yeah.
I genuinely think everybody else is locked in.
Fair enough. What is it about Anderson? Is it last season's statistics?
Yeah, it's just the DEFCON.
Joachim Anderson, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's his literal DEFCON numbers again, pretty much.
Fair enough.
So yeah, he's just one of those players that is going to do quite well. A lot of models really fancy him as well, to do exceptionally well. The problem I have with Tarkowski is, of course, that Bramthwaite injury.
Yeah.
Now, there's a number of things I could do here.
Well, someone has just said that Jake O'Brien will probably start over Michael Keane, and I do think he's a decent player.
O'Brien's been playing at right back, though.
Have they not just signed? Oh, no, they've just signed a left back, haven't they?
They've just signed a left back, yeah.
Patterson ain't it either.
Patterson ain't it. And Seamus Coleman somehow wiggled himself another 1-year deal.
Yeah, which means that Jake O'Brien will be right back. Yeah,
Jake O'Brien's going to be right back. Although I was reading on a Everton forum today that they might try James Garner at right back. and push Jake O'Brien into centre back.
Yeah, fair enough. I could see that.
Yeah.
Just sign a bloody right back.
No. Or maybe they just wheel out Seamus Coleman to get absolutely
Jack
skinned
Grealish at
alive.
right back sounds good.
and die at centre back. Everyone's bought him in, and he's just going to play centre back.
To be fair though, with the signings like Dewsbury Hall and Grealish, etc., I do think Garner being at right back is good to keep him in the team because I do think he is a good player.
Yeah, I really like James Garner. I really
Yeah.
like him. But yeah, let me talk you through the changes that might happen overnight or tomorrow on the deadline stream. It is literally that Tarkowski position. Whether or not that could become Van Dijk, Cucurella as the 2 6 millions. If that was to happen, I would need to drop to a 4.5, so I'd probably go to Verbergen. The other options I've got is maybe a Munoz at 5.5.
Not a bad shout.
Not a bad shout, but they've got the 2 European qualifier games either side of game week 2.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm not as keen on it. And then who was the other options I was looking at? I could go all the way down to a 4.5 and upgrade a Stev to a different 4.5 as well. So yeah, there's where my head's at right now with the picks. I can't remember.
Someone says tossing for Chelsea. That's actually not a bad shout though.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout to be fair. I just don't know what they're like. I know Chelsea are just going to go and buy a centre back in the next few weeks.
I thought they were going to steal Gay.
Yeah. I just really don't know what they're going to go and do. Like I'm petrified of them because I don't know what they're going to do. So with at least Sanchez, I'm like, they're probably not going to go and buy a goalkeeper. So yeah, that's where we're at, and that's kind of the team thinking for now.
Yeah.
Which would be the way that you would maybe look at it? Which
No, I mean, what as in regarding Tarkowski?
Yeah, who would you stick with Tarkowski? Because the rotation works really well. It does genuinely work really well.
I probably would stick with him. I don't think I'll bench Tarkowski just because of the amount of bloody defensive ability, defensive maneuvers he does. And being like I say at Ellen Road, they are going to concede chances. So I feel like he will be a great player to have there. I also do feel like as much as the hype is on tomorrow for Liverpool, I can just see us going 1-0 behind. So you probably want to get Krooping Jr. or whatever his name on the pitch somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. I think I'd just keep it how it is. I like that team. The midfield is excellent.
Yeah.
Can't really complain about that midfield.
No.
And then yeah, Watkins is probably. It seems to like there was flirtation with him being linked with United and Newcastle, but it never seemed to be any more than that. So I don't think he'll have been too distracted. So for the start of the season, and yeah, are they at home, Villa? I take it they are.
Yeah, they're at home.
Yeah, I think that's a really good start to the season. I think it's pretty much the generic format of most FPL managers that will have any knowledge to them is having that 4-5-1 with Watkins up top. I think there's an argument that everyone else that's of decent quality is either a risk or a gamble. Like I've got the likes of Gokeres and Ekitike, then you've got Sesko. All these players could well like break into the 15-20 goals, but they're very new to it, and so they're going to need some time. And granted, someone will take the gamble, and one of those 3 players will score. But Watkins is just that player that you can rely on, and whether it be this week, that he's a mainstay in the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Watkins, and I'm just bringing up the forwards now. I thought you were going to speak for a little bit longer, but I'm just going to bring up the forwards, and I'm pretty much just going to dismantle every single one of them. And the reasons that I like Watkins. So I think Watkins and Haaland, they're fine. There's no kind of risk of rotation. Their minutes are going to be good. The fixtures are good. Both of those players have that. But for captaincy, I need to be going every week Haaland to justify his 14 million. But I'm not doing that. So that's why he's been ruled out. Watkins at 9. Again, doesn't have a backup really. I know they signed some winger who can play up front, but I still think Watkins is going to be first choice. Full pre-season, banging goals in there, great fixtures, proven Premier League player, and maybe on penalties. So that's good. Let's go through all the other forwards then. Isak said he's never going to play again for Newcastle, so has to get a move for him to become an option. Chris Wood massively overperformed on his underlying data last year. Forest only scored 2 or 1 goal in pre-season. So, yep. Bowen, once you get past the Sunderland fixture, I think the fixtures are actually crap. Chelsea, Forest, Tottenham and Palace is the next 4 after that. I don't know what you think to that, but I just don't think they're great fixtures.
It's just that it's not that with a striker, like they only need that one opportunity, because with it being Watkins, if you had those games, you would still back him to score. I think it is just how fresh some of the players are, and of course in this situation, it's just you can't bank on it as much. And I think especially when you're going to back the 4-5-1 formation, I think you're kind of limited, aren't you, really, to someone that you can rely on rather than taking those gambles. I think it might have been a different story should DEFCON have not been included, and you might have been more tempted to take that gamble. But yeah, I think Watkins is probably the safest bet up front.
Yeah, I just think with every other forward, like I could literally go through the rest of the names on this list, and every other forward has like an asterisk next to them. Even like João Pedro, who's I think still the most selected player in the game right now. Just like his minutes are going to be poo. They really are. He's definitely going to come off first game 65 to 70. And if he's blanked twice in a row, his price will absolutely crater. So yeah. I genuinely just think like I'm not going near João Pedro. I genuinely think it's just a massive risk.
Yeah, I really like João Pedro, but yeah, you can't give Liam Delap the number 9 shirt for nothing.
Yeah. Like Liam Delap is going to be hungry. He's apparently Jackson's not even going either.
Really?
Yeah, I probably can't find a buyer for him, can they?
Blimey.
So this is what I mean, like, I think you know how volatile it is at the start of the game, especially around prices.
Mm.
As soon as like a bandwagon player performs, like they shoot up in price. If someone's as high owned as him, all that takes is maybe like 10% of people selling him, and you could be looking at like a 0.4 loss straight away off your team value, like that.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's good defense.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. The only reason I went full all out with Gokeres and Ekitike is because I was going to bench boost. But if I'm being sensible, I probably will stick to the one standout striker.
Yeah, I think probably the best cheap one is maybe Strand Larson.
What about Bowen?
No, too expensive.
How much is he?
8 mil.
Blimey. Yeah, that is a bit pricey for West Ham's history in the league the past few seasons.
I'd try and find an extra mil to go and get Watkins. Or I'd drop him down to a 7.5.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. Obviously, like I said, the deadline stream will be tomorrow. We'll probably be debating what we want to go and do with this team. Is it Verge? Is it Tarkowski? Is it maybe Cucurella? Someone like that. That'll be the big decision for tomorrow. I think other than that, I'm pretty set on it. I know a lot of people are saying, the bench cover is a problem. And I definitely agree. But I really just don't like any of the other forwards within the game. I think I probably would say don't even come back for my content for a couple weeks. Because realistically, all I'm going to be doing every week is going, yeah, I've subbed in a Stev this week. Come back next week. Because what else do I do? Like, I feel like for me, I've probably got some of the best players that are going to perform well this season.
Yeah.
I'm just
The
literally going to be sat on my hands for.
the only question I would have is the fact that you've got no Arsenal players.
I do. This is the thing with this team, right? Is if I sit on my hands for 4 to 5 game weeks around their fixture swing in 6 or 7, I can pretty much just do like a mini wild card and get Gabriel. If Gokeres is looking good, if Saka's looking good, I can do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, fair enough. It's a thing, really, isn't it? If you're good at the game, you won't need to touch your team too much.
No, I feel like some people that is their biggest problem is they just want to touch it.
I don't know who you're talking about.
But like patience is a virtue. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Especially within FPL. Like how many times do you see it? You rush a player out, and then next week,
next week they score.
yeah. So yeah, all good, all good. Right. That is our team. Like I said, we'll finish up. We'll answer some questions, but of course, make sure you're staying around for the rain dance. We of course did hit 16k on today's stream, so we are going to do a little boogie woogie for you boys at the end. So let's whittle through some questions for the next 5, and then we'll do a quick dance. Yeah, Jamie, definitely going to be free hit videos every single week because I think with that chip now in the game, people are going to be playing it all over the shop. So yeah, probably every week there'll be a free hit video. Really, no City players. Yeah, it's just hard to call outside of Haaland minutes. Especially with only one pre-season game as well. Like,
Yeah.
God knows. Maybe if they emerge, then that's probably the period to jump on them. But for right now, outside of Haaland, who do you pick? Like you could guarantee they start every week. Probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Would we've had a super donation, $5 from Crindle. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that one.
Wow.
We're making it big now, mate. Remember when it was just me, you, and your mum sat in a stream?
And Steve, don't forget Steve.
Oh yeah, I can't forget Steve. Big up, Steve. Hello. In my team, Game Week 2 has only 2 home games and no Arsenal versus Leeds. It feels like a difficult game week to predict. Any thoughts? Yeah, I think Game Week 2 across the board is a really difficult game because obviously Liverpool have got Newcastle away, which St James's Park, never an easy place to go, is it?
Especially with this whole transfer saga.
Exactly. But I do feel like Newcastle are a bit of a mess at the moment, so maybe Liverpool could do a job on them early. You're looking at other fixtures as well. You've got Burnley against Sunderland. Like that's a 50-50, a coin toss, whichever way that goes. But yeah, I think across the board, most people's teams in Game Week 2 will be weaker than they will be in Game Week 1 because everybody will probably have 2 Liverpool. Maybe a Palmer against West Ham's not a bad fixture. I get what you're saying. Like that Leeds Arsenal one could be very good. And maybe if you really, really you think let's say Arsenal absolutely demolish Manchester United, and you're like, right, I need to get some Arsenal in. You've got that free hit. You do just have the free hit at the back pocket if you want to go for it.
Yeah, agreed.
And maybe that's the beauty of going for Watkins. Like if Watkins doesn't perform in Game Week 1, but Gokeres does, you've got that instant ability to go, yep, I've now got Gokeres for Game Week 2.
I think he makes a good point, and so do you, about the fact that I think this further shows the importance to having Esteve at the start of the season. He's 4 million,
Yep.
and he will be a starter for you
Yep.
in amongst some very difficult games to call. I think it also further pushes the reckoning for Ollie Watkins. That's a great game away at Brentford because I don't think many people have got too much hope for them. And then, you look at the likes of, I think maybe that argues a bit for Tarkowski as well. Joachim Anderson, I mean, it depends with how United start. Like you say, Arsenal could batter United, but United could get a result themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think looking at Game Week 2, which is the first time, I'll be honest, I've looked at it myself. Those games are tough to call, and there are teams there that may have fairly reasonable games you'd want to back with the likes of maybe. I mean, actually, I say it out loud. Palace Forest is going to be feisty after all the European drama.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that has just further pushed forward the fact that you need a Watkins or a Rodgers should he be fit, and that you need an Esteve, or maybe if you want to back the Sunderland route. I know Mark Guehi may be injured, but maybe just having someone like that on your bench or Mayenda would benefit. It may look really weak this week, but maybe that's the way I need to look at it. And rather than banking on a bench boost, if I have the likes of Esteve or Mayenda or Guehi or whoever it may be on my bench this week, next week it'll look a whole lot better when you've got Burnley assets at home to Sunderland or vice versa. And then you've got the likes of Watkins at home, away to Brentford, who are really um, struggling in the transfer market this summer.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think, a lot of people obviously have that vision just to look at one game week and not go for two or three or four. People don't use the FDR and they probably should do it
Yeah.
more.
I think it also would mean that I do think that you have to be prepared for next week to some extent, because if you don't have an Arsenal asset, you are going to bring one in next week, I would imagine.
It's either that or you just kind of hope for the best. It's kind of more like, okay, I hope Arsenal don't batter Leeds kind of vibe.
Yeah.
We've had another donation sent in from Maddie, I want to say. Apologies if that is incorrect. He's going for the triple up of Salah, Wirtz and Gakpo and wants to know our thoughts on it. Obviously, you being the Liverpool fan, would you be tempted with that?
Yeah,
Salah, Wirtz and
100%. I
Gakpo?
think if I'm gonna have Salah, I am gonna keep Wirtz and Gakpo. I think I will. It will be Ekitike that will um, be sacrificed for Salah again, because of course you can only have the three Liverpool players. Last week in our stream, I had those three. I think they are the best three to have.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed. I think, Wirtz and Salah for me are really good picks. And if you're fancying a bit of a spicy, like if you've got decent bench cover and you're fancying a risky punt at the start of the season, why not Gakpo?
yeah. Especially if you don't think you're going to make too many transfers throughout the first few game weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just preempting maybe the signing of Isak, if that does come ahead, you are going to then have to maybe shift things around a little bit, sacrifice maybe Gakpo come game week 3 or 4. Um, because I think the way things have gone this summer, you'd imagine Isak won't see the first 2 game weeks.
Probably. I probably would say like not till after the international break.
Yeah. What game week's that after internationals?
4.
Yeah.
So
I could see him making 3. The main reason I see 2 not being a thing is, why would you have him start at St James's Park?
yeah, true. They'd definitely be
That'll be
like, get the Liverpool fixture out of the way, then we'll sell him.
or vice versa. Why would he signs for Liverpool and then you play him? He would they'll break his legs.
Yeah, true. True. People are giving a lot of love for the shirt as well. Got the
It's
Roman 90 shirt.
fantastic, by the way. I was going to say something.
Lad, it's
Look,
a sexual shirt, isn't it?
yeah, it's beautiful.
It is very nice. I got a PS.
We are talking about my open reach shirt, aren't we?
Yeah,
Now?
lad, it's the open reach shirt. Everyone's like, open reach, yes, please. Someone said Wood or Solanke. I think Solanke probably misses out on game week 1. I think he didn't look good when he came on for the 30 minutes that he played yesterday. Hasn't had a pre-season.
Yeah.
And you miss his best fixture against Burnley. So I think you probably pick Wood there and hope that Forest can actually score some goals.
I think you'd probably try and there are better options there though. I think you should be maybe focusing your money into the midfield and maybe saving a little bit on Wood and Solanke's price, or investing a little bit more on a Watkins or whoever you may back. But I think it's what I think from this stream, I'm getting the hype behind Watkins being that main man. Everyone else is kind of you don't know, you may be gambling or they've got a rotation risk to them. So I feel like you need to really be backing Watkins and then having some cheaper players, because the midfield is stacked with quality.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. I think we're going to leave it there. Obviously, before we finish up, we're going to we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for a little bow and cheeky rain dance for 16k. Are you
I
ready?
don't really know what I'm supposed to do here, by the way.
You just feel the vibe, lad. Whatever comes to mind, and then you just go with it. All right.
Yeah, right.
All right. I'm just gonna wheel back and take my headphones out. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. There's a green screen right behind me. Whoops. Let me just.
Oh, you got a green screen. I've got a white screen.
Oh, lovely, lad. 1 second. Okay, I'm in position. Are you in position?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let's pretend there's some music on. And I guess get boogie.
Yeah. I think it makes it better that there's no music on.
All right, that'll do it. Oh dear.
I'm looking forward to seeing it on the YouTube stream, seeing you dancing.
Oh, lad.
Nice. Yes.
There were some good moves. There were some good moves there. Well, thank you very much, honestly, guys, for 16k. Like every year, this channel just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Like I said, me and Jake have pretty much gone from speaking to him, his mum, and me dad in a stream to obviously, now 16k.
And different currencies being sent your way.
Exactly, different currencies. People are saying the silence made it really awkward.
I think I enjoyed it more, to be honest. Hopefully that can get clipped. You need to get a GIF made out of that for Twitter.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, for X. Like I said, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. There'll be 2 streams tomorrow, a preview stream and then a deadline stream. Who knows where we might be by the end of tomorrow. We might even be on 17k after the deadline stream. We really could. We're going to smash it out of the park. We're going to do well this season. And, best of luck for game week 1.
Likewise.
I can't find the end stream button. Where is it? There you are.
Bye.
Bye.